The morning of June 4th, 2025 started normally. Commuters filled the city streets, news channels reported unusual events, the world felt predictable, safe. Then the first reports trickled in. Strange sightings from remote areas, unbelievable images on social media, something impossible was happening. Initial disbelief was the common reaction. Hoaxes, people said, clever fakes. But the reports multiplied rapidly. They came from every continent. Giant shapes moved through forests. Unfamiliar calls echoed across plains. The internet buzzed with raw footage. Panic began to set in. In New York, a pterodactyl was seen. It circled skyscrapers, a dark shape. In the Australian outback, huge footprints appeared. They dwarfed any known animal. A fishing boat off Japan filmed something massive. It moved beneath the waves. The evidence became undeniable. Dinosaurs had returned. The world held its breath. This was not a movie. This was not a dream. The ancient past had crashed into the present. No one knew how. No one knew why. The only certainty was the danger. A new era had begun. Our modern technology was immediately tested. Satellites strained to track the new arrivals. Their thermal signatures were enormous. Drones were deployed for closer looks. Many did not return. The creatures were fast, powerful. Our eyes in the sky were vulnerable. We needed better tools quickly. Scientists and engineers worked frantically. They repurposed military surveillance systems. AI algorithms were retrained. They learned to predict dinosaur movements, facial recognition for T-Rexes, gait analysis for raptors. It was a race against time. Understanding was key to survival. Containment became the urgent goal. But how do you contain a Brachiosaurus? How do you stop a stampeding Triceratops herd? Existing fences were like paper. Ideas for sonic barriers emerged. High-frequency sounds to deter them. Laser grids were discussed in hushed tones. The challenges seemed insurmountable. The internet became a double-edged sword. It spread information, vital warnings, but it also spread fear, misinformation. Deepfakes of dinosaur attacks appeared. Hoax sightings caused unnecessary panic. Filtering truth from fiction was hard. Technology showed its limits. Human ingenuity was paramount. Fear was the first overwhelming emotion. People saw the news reports. They saw the amateur videos, giant teeth, massive claws. The primal fear of being hunted returned. Cities near sighting zones became ghost towns. Supermarket shelves were emptied quickly. Safety was everyone's priority, but alongside fear, fascination bloomed. Dinosaur enthusiasts were ecstatic. Paleontologists felt vindicated, awestruck. This was a living laboratory. Some people were drawn to the danger. They wanted to see them up close. Dino spotting became a risky trend. Human curiosity is a powerful force. The scientific community mobilized instantly. This was the discovery of all time. They wanted samples, observations. How did they breathe? What did they eat? How did they survive for so long? Or had they just appeared? The questions were endless. The opportunity was unprecedented. Media coverage was relentless, global. Every news outlet had dinosaur experts. Social media feeds were nothing but dinosaurs. #Dino Return trended for weeks. Documentaries were planned overnight. The world was obsessed, terrified, thrilled. Humanity faced its ancient predators and its own complex nature. Governments worldwide declared states of emergency. This was a global crisis. Military units were mobilized, not for attack initially, but for containment and public safety. Evacuations were ordered in high-risk zones. The logistics were a nightmare. Keeping people calm was crucial. Heated debates began in parliaments. What was the long-term plan? Should these creatures be destroyed, or should they be protected? Some argued they were too dangerous. Others saw a miracle of nature. The ethical questions were profound. No easy answers were found. Dinosaur exclusion zones were established. Vast areas were cordoned off. These were places where dinosaurs roamed freely. Humans were forbidden to enter. Patrols, both ground and air, enforced this. But dinosaurs did not respect borders. They wandered where they pleased. The zones were a temporary measure. International cooperation was surprisingly swift. Old rivalries were put aside mostly. Information on sightings was shared. Joint research teams were formed. Resources were pooled for containment tech. This was a threat to all humanity and a puzzle for all humanity. The world had to work together. Section 5. The Living Past. Science confronts the impossible. For scientists, this was a dream and a terror. Paleontology transformed overnight. No more guessing from fossilized bones. Living, breathing dinosaurs were here. Biologists, geneticists, veterinarians joined the effort. Every observation was a breakthrough. The speed of discovery was breathtaking. Textbooks were being rewritten daily. New insights poured in. Dinosaur skin color and texture. Their true vocalizations, complex and varied. Social structures within herds. Hunting patterns of predators. Things fossils could only hint at. We learned their metabolisms were faster. Some were surprisingly intelligent. Ethical dilemmas quickly surfaced. How close could researchers get? Was it right to capture them for study or to tag them, altering their behavior? The debate about de-extinction was reignited. But these were not lab creations. They were here, a natural or unnatural fact. Science had to proceed with caution. Medical research saw unexpected avenues. Could dinosaur immune systems hold secrets, perhaps cures for modern diseases? Their resilience was astounding. Ancient bacteria or viruses they carried. Were these a threat to us, or could they provide new antibiotics? The risks and rewards were immense. Section 6, a planet reshaped, ecosystems under siege. The environmental impact was immediate and profound. Dinosaurs were invasive species on a colossal scale. Existing ecosystems were not prepared. Large herbivores consumed tons of vegetation daily. Forests were stripped bare. Grasslands turned to dust. Native plants faced new, voracious appetites. The landscape began to change. Predatory dinosaurs disrupted existing food chains. Native predators could not compete. Wolves, bears, big cats were outmatched. Their prey became dinosaur prey. Some smaller dinosaurs targeted livestock. Farmers reported strange losses. The balance of nature was broken. New hierarchies were forming. The sheer size of these creatures mattered. A herd of Argentinosaurs could alter a river's course. Their waste products changed soil composition. Nesting grounds displaced smaller animals. The ripple effects were everywhere. From insects to large mammals, every part of the ecosystem felt it. Some species thrived, others vanished. Scientists worried about disease transmission. What ancient pathogens did dinosaurs carry? Could they infect modern animals or humans? Conversely, were dinosaurs vulnerable to our diseases? The avian flu took on a new terror. Ecological modeling became a frantic effort, trying to predict the cascading changes. Section 7, the price of giants, economic tremors. Global markets reacted with predictable panic. Stock exchanges plummeted worldwide. The uncertainty was too great. Supply chains were severely disrupted. Shipping routes became hazardous. Air travel was restricted in many areas. Insurance companies faced ruin. Who pays for a T-Rex smashing a factory? Agriculture was hit particularly hard. Crops were devoured or trampled. Livestock became easy prey. Farmland near dinosaur zones became worthless. Food prices soared globally. The tourism industry collapsed in some regions. But a new, dangerous dino tourism emerged. Fortunes were lost and for a few made. New industries were born from the chaos. Dinosaur detection systems became big business. Reinforced fencing and barriers were in demand. Private security firms offered dino protection. Research funding poured into paleontology and into new weapons just in case. The economy was reshaping itself, adapting to the new reality. The cost of containment was astronomical, building and maintaining exclusion zones, relocating displaced populations, compensating for damages. It strained national budgets to breaking point. International aid funds were established, but the sheer scale was overwhelming. The dinosaurs were an economic disaster. Section 8, drawing new lines, the coexistence conundrum. The central question became, can we coexist? Humanity had dominated the planet. Now that dominance was challenged. Some argued for complete separation, massive, impenetrable sanctuaries for dinosaurs. Let them have their own continents. Others believed in managed integration, a difficult, dangerous path. The idea of dinosaur reserves gained traction. Vast, isolated areas designated for them. Islands were considered prime candidates. But how to get them there? And how to ensure they stayed there? The logistics were mind-boggling. The cost, even more so. Yet it seemed the most humane option. Human infrastructure needed urgent upgrades. Buildings in proximity to dinosaurs needed reinforcement. Transportation routes had to be rethought. Elevated highways, underground tunnels, early warning systems became commonplace, like tornado sirens, but for raptors. Life changed in fundamental ways. A new kind of vigilance was required. The psychological impact was deep. Humans felt smaller, more vulnerable, a lost sense of security, but also, for some, a renewed respect for nature, or at its power and unpredictability. The dinosaurs forced a re-evaluation. Our place in the natural order. The planet was not just ours anymore. Section 9. Terra Nova, a future shared. The world of 2025 was gone forever. June 4th marked a new epoch, the age of humans and dinosaurs. There was no returning to the old normal. The ancient past was now the present, and it would shape the future. Humanity was adapting, as it always had, but the challenges were immense. The potential for discovery remained vast. What more could we learn from these creatures? About life's history, about evolution, about our own planet's deep past, but the danger was ever present. A constant low-level threat, a reminder of nature's raw power. Complacency could be fatal. Humanity's resilience would be tested daily. Our ingenuity, our courage, our compassion. Could we find a balance? Could we manage this new wild world, or would conflict be inevitable? The dinosaurs were not monsters. They were animals trying to survive, just like us. The future was unwritten, uncertain, a planet shared by titans of two ages. Would it lead to a richer, more diverse world, or a world of constant struggle? The dinosaurs were a mirror, reflecting our fears, our hopes, and our ability to face the unknown. The next chapter was just beginning.